What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Everything is Stupid podcast. I'm your host, Jace Caton, here with my lovely co-host, Chase Lueke. Say what's up, Chase.
What's up, everybody?
We are here to talk with you about some of the crazier things we've seen this week, be it unbelievable, idiotic, or the other. To start us off here, Cheese, we had a man that was just looking to make a little money. I think we all are. We all have our schemes. You understand the stock market, right? You understand how you can buy and sell shares and things. That's something that you understand. This man sold shares in himself. So essentially what this man named Alex did is he sold fractional shares in himself in an effort to raise money. It says he said he will pay out a share of his income, but the contract is not enforceable. So essentially what he did was have people, it's like a GoFundMe. Like he had people buy into his personal ventures and he offered nothing in return. And that's kind of genius. Like, I mean, I don't even know that I can hate on the guy. It really does. It takes a village to raise a family. And this man thought, let me use the internet and the stock market and let's go ahead and raise myself. And you can't knock him for that. It says so far he has 30 investors which have generated over $20,000.
How do they gauge that? Does he provide a certain amount of work for that? It's like I get him on weekends and you get him on weekdays.
I don't even think they split it up. I don't think that was disclosed in the contract. I think he literally said, "You're just investing in me, so like it or don't." And left it at that. Like, I don't even think he promised anything. I think these are just one of those things where, so it shows that it was sold as money sign in all caps ALEX. So I don't know if people thought it was some up and coming company that they were investing in, or what. But essentially, this guy made his own IPO and just auctioned off himself in an effort to raise money for God knows what. I mean, he's probably going to spend it on booze and Taco Bell. But, I mean, he got people to invest in it, so...
Incredible.
It's kind of genius.
You think his kid's a trust fund baby?
I mean, from the pictures, it looks like he is a kid.
Oh, like, even better.
From the picture, this kid looks like he can't be older than, like, 22.
He's going places.
Like... like, this kid's definitely just a young kid, just scheming hard. Like, how can I make some money today? And he was like, everyone's burning up these GoFundMes with all this tragedy. Like, how can I make some money for myself that I don't have to capitalize on that? And he, I guess you found a way, like $20,000. Like, granted, that's stock, but he can still go sell his entity and still make money off that. Like,
that's awesome.
It's kind of genius. Like, I've been looking at this all day trying to figure out if I could get the same scheme going. Not sure I'd feel right about it, but
I want to invest in this kid.
Apparently we need to invest in this kid because he's a genius. We might need to bring him on to Turkish Delight Productions and let him figure out how to raise some money for us because Lord knows we can't do it ourselves. But you got a few articles for us, Cheese. What you got first?
All right. I'll just read this one off verbatim. Chinese businessman hires a hitman who hires another hitman who hires another hitman who hires another hitman who hires another hitman who betrays all 6 of them and lands them all in prison.
I mean, I feel like that's the ideal picture of what China economics is.
Dude, the picture is
it's
the
just
courtroom.
Distribution of labor. One guy saying, I don't want to do it. The only funnier thing would have been if they all wound up taking the job, like they like fell on hard times and they all decided they needed the job. So then it turned into like 6 hitmen, like at the same job, like that office scene where they're all pointing guns at each other and they're like, I'm here to kill him. And the other guy, I'm here to kill him. Like that would have been the only other funnier situation to that. But
yeah, meanwhile, the other guy's just on the phone calling the police like, yo, are you hearing this shit?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the optimal distribution of labor is really what it is. It's one guy saying like, I think it's essentially how the contracting business works in the US.
That's what it says. It's like
that's
the
all it is.
Hitman number 2
subcontracted out the killing of a man.
Subcontracted to another hitman who then subcontracted to a fourth who then subcontracted to a fifth, but the fifth and final hitman got cold feet. It's like, damn, that guy had a conscience.
That guy had a conscience. He had too much of a conscience to actually follow through. Here's my question though. Like, is that refundable money, do you think?
Guys,
Like, do you think if you subcontracted out to a guy who subcontracted it out to like 4 more guys who successively like contracted it out, like, do you think you can be like, hey, he didn't die? Like, it'd be kind of cool. Like, you breached our contract legally, so I'd like my money back. Or do you think that's just so like low key hush hush that he has no repercussions to get his money back? Because I assume a mercenary is not cheap.
Well, all right, so it started at $411,000, and by the time it got around to the last guy, he got paid $20,000 to do the job. And I wonder if he got to keep it. They're like, yeah, that's your reward, dude. Okay, so just keep that.
I mean, is that not like the ideal like that's the epitome of that meme from what's the movie with the guy who pays like Jennifer Aniston and those 2 kids to be his like fake family so he can smuggle drugs?
Yeah, dude.
Where he's like, you guys are getting paid.
We are the Millers.
We are the Millers. That's the last guy in the chain. Everyone else is making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that last guy is like, you guys are getting paid for this. I mean, that's what it is. It's wild. I mean, it's actually crazy. I don't know if you know this, but the As I Lay Dying lead singer got like arrested on like hitman for hire charges. Like, that's like why the band broke up.
Really? Like, he was hiring, or he was the hitman for
like,
hire?
He was offering his services out to like be a hitman.
That's pretty hardcore.
And like, he never actually killed anyone, but he got arrested in a plot to do hitman services, and that's what kind of tore the band apart. So I guess we just need to be in the right circles, because I don't know of any local hitman, but I know a couple of people in high school that probably are looking for work right now. Another guy that's not looking for work, though, is the Japanese prime minister, who apparently, and I can't play the video, unfortunately, but apparently this video is 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And this entire time, he is trying to soothe his nation during this coronavirus, trying to get them to stay at home. And the entire time, he just has a dog in his lap, petting it awkwardly. I mean, like, imagine some mafia stuff where, like, you just got a dog in your lap and you're petting it, and you're just like, yes, be calm.
Think of Dr. Evil.
Do not be angered. In my presence, and this dog is like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to be a part of this. But apparently, this is like the official video released. Like, this is not a joke. Like, he's literally sitting there, like, awkwardly petting a dog. It says he tried to break up some of the awkwardness of the dog by involving a Japanese singer and a Japanese actor. But most of the video was spent just petting a dog and talking.
Yes, millions of you will die, but million more of you will survive.
Well, just imagine, dude. Like, just imagine if like we got like Trump's nightly news, and like he just showed up with like a golden retriever in like a lawn chair, and he just started petting this dog, and he was like, everything's gonna be okay. Just listen here. Like, imagine how crazy that would be. Like, I can understand him, obviously. Like, I don't speak Japanese, but just imagine how crazy that would be for a leader of a country to address his entire nation, just petting a furry friend the entire time.
Kind of cool, man. I think there's a crowd for that.
I mean, there definitely is. Like, I think there's sections of the internet for that. There's definitely a Reddit forum.
Furries are like, I'm voting for that guy again.
I mean, like, yeah, but like, I feel like someone, and it must have been some guy's first week where he was like, someone tasked him with the job of, hey, the prime minister is going to give a speech to everyone about an update on this virus. We're trying to think of ways that he can look more presentable, be more friendly, blah, blah, blah. And this guy was like, why doesn't he just pet a dog? Like, everyone loves the dogs. And you have this video now of the leader of a country just petting a dog. Was it the leader of China or Japan that like handed the dog to Putin and was just like grabbing it by the fur like it was just a bag of rocks?
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but
Oh, really?
It's probably the Chinese.
I mean,
they're less than ethical.
It's one of the most awkward videos I've ever seen. Like, it's literally a leader of a country handing a dog to Putin, and he's literally holding it by the fur on like its spine. And the dog's like, I don't know what's going on. And he hands it to him. And even Putin's like, give me that dog. Like, stop holding this thing like this. Like, it's the most wild thing ever. But I guess China eats dogs.
Yeah.
Japanese prime minister's pet dogs in an attempt to soothe their people, and us here in America just love ours. But what you got for us next, Cheese?
This is a good one. I just got a drone recently for all you people out there that aren't keyed in on my life. There's not many of
good aerial
there's
footage.
not many of you left, but yeah, so this is
there's not many people in your life left.
there's
it's just you and me doing this podcast. That's all you got.
I'm in my bunker. I've been self-isolating for the last 8 months. I predicted the coronavirus or some kind of virus or nuclear apocalypse, and yeah, there's no one else out there. I just correspond with Jace through Discord.
We're just hoping someone's out there still. We have the death toll numbers are all skewed. We have no real data to go off. So God knows we're gonna walk out the door and there's gonna be no one there but open houses.
Everything is stupid on AM 620.
Yeah, catch us on lo-fi radio. We're playing on vinyl only.
All right, but here's a article from The Sun in the UK about an ISIS fighter killed by a drone bomb he was operating after it ran low on battery and flew back. It returned home and returned to cinder.
Like straight up. Like they sent it out. We're like, hey, go do some work for us. That drone was like, nah. Turned around and just went back and blew the same people that sent it off up.
Yeah, and there's a picture here, and it's just like a DJI drone. It's like a consumer drone.
It's not even like a military drone.
Yeah, with like a
they literally
pipe
just
bombs.
strapped like fireworks to DJI, and we're like, go get them, boy.
It's beeping like 30 minutes later, out of battery.
And it returned home?
Yeah, it just returned home. And he was killed. It killed him. It came back and killed him.
Well, it's definitely not funny that it killed him. But
I mean, it's an ISIS fighter, so in a way, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely worse things that have happened. I mean, it's definitely never hilarious when someone dies, but like, I just imagine like we've been playing a lot of Call of Duty, like we've been stuck in quarantine. Like, imagine we send like a drone up with C4 on it, and all of a sudden it comes back to us, and our entire team dies. Like, imagine how mad. Like, imagine the guy that had to go tell the commander of his little, I don't know what they call them, like ISIS fleets or whatever. Like, imagine that, like, Mihad or whatever had to be like, hey, you know, Jihad's plan to send that DJI over? Well, it came back because the battery was low and it blew up and killed him.
The subtitle is
like
Jihadi Karma.
The guy that died doesn't have to deal with his commander. Like, imagine the guy that has to tell him that's what happened, and that's why they're down a fighter.
You guys didn't run. You just let it come back. Like,
you just let it come back. You knew there was a bomb on it.
You can land it somewhere else away. Like, you don't have to let it come all the way back. Dude, it's a scathing article, man. The first line is the idiotic killer was targeting Allied forces after the battle for Mosul in northern Iraq. Like, damn, they're pulling no punches. Even them, they're calling him an idiot. Just like, this guy's dead, and they're pulling no punches. He had customized this weapon to carry plastic explosive and planned to detonate it by troops based in the city, but his plan backfired because he had forgotten to sufficiently charge the device. It was low on battery. Dude, you failed twice, and it cost you your life.
Hey, you remember to charge that drone, right? Yeah, definitely. Just wakes up hungover as heck. Like, just sends that thing off. It comes back to him. I mean, like, you had one job, like, charge the drone. Like, I don't know how the energy situation is out in those caves, but I assume it's not super bad.
Plugged into a gas Ginny.
But I think you got one more for us, right, Cheese? Before we wrap the show up for the first episode?
Yes, I do. I got a 4-1.
Well, let's hear it.
All right. So, This comes from Click Orlando, so you know it's straight from the heart of the Sunshine State. Yeah, is that Florida? Florida's the Sunshine State, or is it the?
I think so.
The Orange State.
It's wherever they make Tropicana.
Yeah,
that's all you need to know.
That's all I know. Says blowing a hairdryer up your nose won't kill coronavirus, despite what a Florida commissioner said. Doctors say home remedy could be dangerous. And they got a stock photo of a person holding a hairdryer. It appears to be aimed directly at their face in a suicidal pledge to just erase yourself from this cruel, cruel world. And as it goes on, a Florida commissioner is backpedaling and apologizing after he suggested during a public meeting that breathing in the heat from a hairdryer could kill the coronavirus. Although I'm sure he was just being sarcastic.
What's funnier, the headline or that picture?
Oh, man. The two in tandem is like, it's selling it for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, Florida is kind of its own country. But I mean, everyone's been shooting up Lysol. Like, I guess what's new? Like, people are shooting up Lysol and blowing hair dryers up their nose. Like, I don't even know what to expect next. Like, I don't even know what to be surprised by anymore. Like, we're kind of at that point as a society.
He says your nasal passages are cool, but if you can heat them up enough, the virus just falls apart and disintegrates.
So is that the science they're trying to push? Is like you just need to like. It's like how what was it? There was some place at the beginning of this virus that was saying if you drink enough like alcohol, like you can cleanse the inside of your body. It was like that same basic idea where like it's like that meme you've seen 1,000 times where it's like rubbing alcohol fixes the outside boo-boo, like drinking alcohol fixes the inside boo-boo. Like this is just wild. Like, yeah, just sit there with a hairdryer blown up to your nose and wait until the virus is gone. Right, like just heat it out of you.
Like the dude like might have some other bigger concerns if the air coming out of his nasal passages are cool, because I'm pretty sure mine's coming out at least at 98.6 degrees, which is, I mean, that's at least lukewarm, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, some lukewarm air.
Shit ain't cool.
I mean, I think this is once again just a topic of like someone who was put in a position to make a decision and they knew nothing about the circumstance. Some guy just walked into this office today and was like, hey, there's this coronavirus, COVID-19. You may have heard of it. Our people are looking for answers. They want to know what to do. And they walk in, he's just blow drying his hair. And he has to like stop for a second. And he's like, I don't know, just like heat kills germs. Like just tell them to blow dries their nose and then just goes back to it. Like how else does that come to be? Like how else is like... There's surely not a logical thought process that leads to that conclusion, no? Like, there's no way that, like, he sat there for, like, days and was like, how are we going to combat this? And that's what he came up with.
I feel it. I feel it working.
I feel it. The heat. I feel healthier.
My eyes are burning red.
I've never been able to see 20/20, but now I can. I'll tell you what, these hair dryers are magic. You guys ever know you can press a button? I'm surprised if it's in Florida that people haven't started lighting firecrackers in front of leaf blowers and trying to see if it does the same thing.
Could. Ingesting them might do the same. Who knows?
Might be faster.
That should be a segment here. We just start throwing out random shit we've pulled out of our asses about how to cure the coronavirus.
I mean, that or honestly, I think what's going to be a recurring segment is just Florida Man. I think there's enough Florida Man material to essentially make its own show.
You know what?
But
you got a point there.
I think we'll save some of that. I think we'll end the episode for tonight and keep it rolling next time. We'll probably have you another Florida Man update. But thank you guys for tuning in. We are absolutely thrilled that you checked in with us for the first episode of Everything is Stupid. Keep your eyes out. If you do want to send in some articles you'd like us to talk about, go ahead and send those to info@td-productions.com. We'd love to look over them. Love to include them in a later episode. As always, I am your host, Jace Caton, here with my lovely co-host, Chase Lueke, and we will catch you on the flippy flop.
Later, y'all.
Good night.